Don't forget about what you do and why you do every single day. You have the ability to positively impact and change people's lives. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. I am your host, Michael Weaver. I'm flying solo today. Courtney is not here, and I just wanted to first and foremost wish you a happy Labor Day. I hope you have an amazing day with your family and friends. And it's also the beginning of Life Insurance Awareness Month. So on today's episode, I'm going to give you a takeaway that you can take, do tomorrow, and see immediate results from. So make sure that you continue to tune in. But Life Insurance Awareness Month, it is here. It is time to change people's lives. You are in the business of always changing people's lives. But September is always an emphasis where we in the insurance industry put an emphasis on life insurance awareness. And so I don't want to just skip over the fact as to why life insurance is so important. You have the ability every single day to talk to people that have no idea what kind of problems they have. They're living their life day to day, just going on, trying to survive. The last thing that they're concerned about or even thinking about is, if they don't come home to their family, what happens? That's why I say you have the most noble profession and career in the world. You have the ability to have conversations with people every single day to make sure that if something does happen, that their family isn't financially devastated, that their family can process their emotions. Yes, they're going to be emotionally devastated. Losing a loved one is terrible. It sucks. It is hard, but it doesn't have to be financially hard. It doesn't have to be financially devastating. It doesn't have to be where families have to make tough, hard decisions like, do I have to sell the house? How am I making the next payment? Am I going to have to file bankruptcy? Am I going to have to go right back to work? Like, what's going to happen? It doesn't have to be that way. And that's the power that you have as a life insurance professional. So please don't forget, I know that most companies are running promotions right now. I know that all agents are like, hey, gearing up, here's a bonus, here's promos. But don't forget about what you do and why you do every single day. You have the ability to positively impact and change people's lives, your family, your peers, people in the community. That is the power you have. You are powerful, and please do not forget that. Also, before I get into what I want you to do tomorrow to see immediate results, it is also 30 Life in 5 Days Challenge Month, baby. We only do this challenge twice a year, and early bird cart opens tomorrow, meaning that this week, early bird pricing, it is the least expensive that it will be. Early bird pricing only lasts this week. And if you are if you're a Weaver Sales Academy member, make sure you check your email because you get an even deeper discount, baby. But make sure early bird special pricing, check it out. It opens up tomorrow. You're going to want to take advantage of it. And again, there's more information on the 30 Life in 5 Days Challenge, but ultimately we're going to teach you and your team how to write 30 Life in just 5 days. Yes, not a month, not a couple months, not a year, in just 5 days. In January, we actually had an agency write 78 life apps. If you think that's an outlier, the next best was 74 life apps. 78 and 74 in just 5 days, multiple over 30. The average 84% of participants produce more than 20 life apps in a given 5 days and over $19,000 in annualized premium over the 5-day period. So we're just not slinging policies transactionally. We're just not slinging 100K terms. No, we're teaching you how to have conversations that matter, that get the customer emotionally bought in, that have you write bigger death benefit, bigger premium policies. That's what this challenge is about. Nothing transactional, everything transformational, baby. So make sure you take advantage of the early bird pricing. And again, Weaver Sales Academy members, check your email because you get an even deeper discount. Let's get into the thing I want you to do tomorrow. So when you get to work tomorrow, it's go time, baby. Today is Labor Day. Enjoy it with your family and friends. Tomorrow is go time. It's time to take massive action. Action, action, action. Attitude, effort, and accountability, right? So action. You got to take action. So let's do this. So tomorrow, what I want you to do is I want you to make this pivot. I don't want you to make this pivot one time. I want you to make this pivot to every single customer you talk to. Every single customer you talk to, you can do this for one day. You can do it for one day. Every single customer you talk to, that is a homeowner. That's a homeowner. I want you to make this pivot. You will see results from this. So when you have helped them out, I'm going to teach you how to bring this up on a service transaction. I'm also going to share how to incorporate this on a new business P&C sales conversation, right? So here we go. Let's start with the pivot off of a service transaction first. So when you get done servicing the customer, make sure they have a remarkable experience. Make sure you take care of their problem. Make sure you build rapport with them, warm them up. How was their Labor Day? How have they been? Glad the kids are back to school. Did you go on any vacations? Then take care of the issue at hand, why they're calling, whether it's a payment, whether it's a question, whether they're wondering if they can get a quote on a new vehicle, whatever it is. And then before you hang up the phone, you're going to ask this question. So ask this question right here. This is all for all homeowners. For all homeowners, anyone that owns a home. If they call you tomorrow, you see in their profile that they own a home, ask this question. Mr. or Mrs. Customer, before I let you off the phone, I don't see any notes on file regarding your mortgage payoff protector plan. Let me ask you real fast. In the event that you were to pass away today unexpectedly, you don't go home to your family, what does your mortgage payoff protector plan look like? Meaning that your family received a check large enough to be able to pay off the mortgage so they didn't have to worry about how they're going to make that next payment without your income, or potentially even being forced to make hard decisions like selling the house in the future or filing bankruptcy. What does that plan look like? That's simple. Ask that question and you're going to get a response of, what are you talking about? I've never really thought about that. There was something out there like that, in which I want you to respond with, listen to me now. I want you to respond with this. Tell me more about that, right? So why, or would it be important to you? So would it be important to you in the event that you did pass away, you don't go home to your family, that your family received a check large enough to be able to pay off the mortgage so they didn't have to worry about how they're going to make that next payment or being forced to sell the childhood home? Would it be important to you? And when they respond with yes, tell me more about that. Why would that be important to you? I got a little ahead of myself earlier. Tell me more about that. Why would that be important to you? If you just do that right there, you will have massive success. Would it be important to you? And then tell me more about that. Why would it be important to you? They're actually going to get emotionally engaged in the conversation. They're going to tell you what's important to them so that you don't have to sell anything. Now you're just solving problems. So that is the question I want you to ask tomorrow. And if you want to go understand how to go even more in depth with that conversation, how to convert even more conversations into actually bound submitted policies, make sure you sign up for the 30 Life in 5 Days challenge, because you get over 10 scripts, 10 talk tracks. You get training every single day of the challenge, and we're going to dive into that, plus more to tell you and show you and teach you exactly how to have success in that conversation along with others. Let's go into, let's also touch just base real fast on the new business P&C sales conversation. So after you're quoting the auto, you're going to pivot into the homeowners. Before you go into the details and coverage of the homeowners, I want you to ask this question right here. All right, so Mr. or Miss Customer, before we get into the homeowner's insurance, I just had a quick question for you. I apologize. I should have asked this earlier in the conversation. I know that you have a mortgage on your homeowner or on your home. Let me just ask you real fast. What does your mortgage payoff protection plan look like? Meaning that if you do pass away today, we just talked about your car insurance. So let's say you get into an auto accident, you pass away unexpectedly. What does the plan look like to ensure that your family would receive a check large enough to be able to pay off the mortgage so that they didn't struggle making that payment without your income and potentially even being forced to maybe sell the house one day or file bankruptcy? What does that plan look like? Most people are going to respond with, I don't have that, never heard of that, didn't know that was available. Great. What are we going to ask here? Same thing as I shared with you earlier. I hope you're saying it out loud right now. Let me ask you, would it be important to you that if you did get into a freak accident today, you passed away, you didn't go home to your family, that your family received a check large enough to be able to pay off the mortgage so they didn't have to struggle making that payment or even being forced to make hard decisions down the road like selling the house or filing bankruptcy? Would it be important to you that you had a plan in place? When they respond with yes, what do you respond with? Tell me more about that. Why would that be important to you that you had a plan to where your family received a check large enough so they could pay off the mortgage and never struggle financially? Why would that be important to you? That's all you have to say. And when they respond with whatever their reasoning is, great. Included in the quote today is going to be a $400,000 mortgage payoff protection plan. Let's get into the homeowner's insurance and we can cover all the details about all the plans at the very end. Then you go into your homeowners. At the end of the conversations, when you're going to give the details around the policy, the terms and conditions, all that boring stuff that has to be said, right? You have to educate customers on what they're getting, but don't get too much in the weeds, right? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Simple sells. If you start giving a lot of details before it's time to actually submit the application and get payment information, you're going to kill the deal. So ask that question. Solve the immediate need, tell them it's going to be included, and you'll get to the details later on in the conversation. Let's go ahead and get to the homeowner's insurance because they answered yes, it's important to them. They told you why they would want it protected. Now, what you're going to learn in the 30 Life in 5 Days Challenge is how to get them even more emotionally engaged in that conversation to where they're really telling you why that would be important to them, what would happen if they didn't have a plan in place, what they would want to happen, to where now we can also turn it from just a mortgage payoff protector into a true paycheck protection plan. But you see how we're now quoting $350,000, $400,000, $500,000 benefit policies just off the mortgage? The average homeowner, the average mortgage right now in the United States is around $350,000. This automatically increases your death benefit, and this automatically increases your premium. In the 30 Life in 5 Days Challenge, you're going to learn how to take these conversations and turn them into $1 million benefit conversations all day long. So implement those into your conversation tomorrow. You will see immediate results. You will see how the conversation changes. And when you see positive results from this, because you will, go ahead and sign up for the 30 Life in 5 Days Challenge, as we're going to dive into this and much more. But other than that, I appreciate you tuning into the Buzz today. I hope you had an amazing Labor Day weekend with your family and friends. As always, time and attention are by far our most important assets. Go out, make it great, enjoy your holiday, and take advantage and help as many people out during Life Insurance Awareness Month as possible. Confidence and momentum, and I look forward to seeing you in the 30 Life in 5 Days Challenge.